Shalom. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shema Shai Barak Thumb. Before I get started with this lesson, I'm going to face the east, give all honor, glory, and praises that's due to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arakakodash. And double honors to the elder bishops, elder apostles, and the men on down at GMS that do well and have taught me this truth. Shalom, Akim. So I got a midweek camp. You know what time it is. Bring out the gospel or the truth, okay? Preach the gospel of the kingdom of heaven that will be established on earth as it is in heaven to you Israelites, quote unquote Black Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and the speckled bird Israelites that scattered throughout the diaspora that may look like these other nations, but their bloodline, their seed line goes back to the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, okay? So without further ado, we're just gonna bring out the kingdom. We're gonna bring out the gospel, man, okay? For Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, okay? And it's just that simple. So without further ado, I'm gonna dive into the scriptures, and Lord's will this be edifying. So without further ado, let's dive right on in. Okay, we're gonna start it off in the book of Ecclesiastes, okay? Ecclesiastes 3:15, and it reads, "That which hath been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And God requireth that which is past." Okay, so that what has been is now. Okay, we came into captivity. Okay, we're still in captivity. Okay, and that which is to be have already been. So that which is to be has already been. So what is to be is Jacob being in rulership. Okay, the earth is in desperate need of new rulership, okay? Because everything is defiled. Everybody on the earth is absolutely bogged out, cooked through. The Israelites, a majority of the Israelites is bogged out, cooked through, okay? And the earth is in desperate need of a reset and new management, okay? And that'll be Jacob, the house of Israel, the house of David, okay? Literally, when the Messiah come back to usher it in, which is being ushered in through the Spirit now, through the tabernacle of King David, okay? Which is the men that's on the highways and hedges, bringing out this truth day in and day out. And God requireth that which is past. Okay, so the Most High Yahweh, okay, requireth that which is past. So us being in rulership, the Lord requires that which is past. Us being in rulership, which we was in rulership at one point in time, going back to King David, Solomon, when the earth was in peace, man. Okay, and that is what's to be. Period, point blank. And that can't happen quick enough. So let's keep going here. Okay, let's back up. Let's go ahead and get some more of that real quick. 2 Samuel 8:13, and it reads, "And David gave him a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men." So we know King David was a mighty man. We know the Lord was dealing with King David, man. Okay, he set up that, David was a mighty man of Israel, man. Okay, he slayed Goliath. All right, and he was a little boy, and he slayed the giant Goliath, man. Okay, the Lord gave him strength. He was a king. All right, and he did amazing things through the willpower and spirit of Yahweh Shai, our forefather, man. Okay, King David. Next verse. "And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants." Okay, so that is what's to be. Okay, you Edomites is going into captivity. You're going back into slavery. And you're going to be subjected to the Israelites, which is your rightful place. That's where you need to be. Because obviously, okay, looking at all the wickedness and all the idolatrous, abominable, wicked ass actions and behaviors that we see you do, okay, and how everything on the earth is out of course. The water being defiled, the air being defiled, the food being defiled, the people being bugged out their minds, okay, and mourning every day, because due to the astronomical cost of living and just the harsh reality of the wickedness that's on this place, you need to be in subjection. You're not fit to rule, okay? So that is what's required. You're going back into captivity. And as we're reading it now, King David had the Edomites in subjection, okay? And you will be going back into subjection. It's just that simple, man, okay? Let's read it again. 2 Samuel 8 and 14. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons. And all they of Edom became David's servants. And the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. So the Lord was perfectly fine with King David having Edomites in subjection. The Lord was perfectly fine with King David having, you Edomites in slavery, okay, in subjection. It's just that simple. We just read it. He preserved David, okay? So yeah, he blessed him. He guided him, okay? And that is what's going to be. Okay? Let's keep going. The Edomites cannot get out of this, out of your judgment. Okay? Doesn't matter how many Hail Marys, doesn't matter how many times you call on JC, okay? It's not going to save you from what's coming down the pipe for you. Okay? Now let's get some more. Let's keep going. Let me come here. Okay. First Maccabees 5 and 1. I'm gonna go ahead and read it through 5. All right, and it reads, Now when the nations around about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Okay, so our forefathers, the Maccabees, okay, they was mighty men, okay, of Israel. They was mighty men of Israel. They slayed Edomites the fuck down. They rebuilt the temple. They didn't rebuild the temple per se. They cleansed the temple of wicked ass Edomites and wicked idolatrous behaviors being done in the temple due to Antiochus Epiphanes, okay, throughout the Greek captivity, okay? These was mighty men of Israel, all right? Let's keep it moving. Lucky. Let's start over. Now when the nations around about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. So it displeased the heathen. It displeased the Edomites that the Maccabees, our forefathers, the Maccabees, cleansed the temple, re-cleansed it. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them, and thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. So they start deleting Israelites, man. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau. So we've been at war with these Edomites just since the beginning of time, man. We've been at war with these goddamn devils since the beginning of time, okay? Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Abertine, because they besieged Gael, and he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. Also he removed the injury of the children of Bean, who had been a snare in the offense unto the people, and they that lay in wait for them in the ways. 5. He shut them up, therefore, in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. Okay, so Judas was a beast, man. Judas shut the Edomites up, okay, because he remembered how wicked they was, and he was not satisfied with just defeating them in the battle. He had to get them out of there. He had to take them out of there. So he shut them up and burned the Edomites with fire, burnt their asses up. He shut them up and camped around them and burned them up, okay? Period, point blank. And the Lord was cool with that. The Lord guided the Maccabees, Judas and his brethren, okay? The Heavenly Father was absolutely cool with that, okay? Period, point blank. And we can see due to the wicked, evil, diabolical behavior of you goddamn Edomites, why the Heavenly Father was cool with that, because you are the devil that the Bible speaks of. It's just that simple. All right, let's keep going. Okay, now let's prove that. Let me go here. That's what's to be. That's what's coming down the pipe, and you can't get out of it. All right, listen. To further prove that the Heavenly Father Yahweh was cool with the fact that Judas was slaying you Edomites to fall down and burning you up and shutting you up and encamping around you and burning you up. Let's get this. 2 Maccabees 10:1. Now Maccabees and his company, the Lord guiding them, woo, recovered the temple and the city, but the altars which the heathen had built in the open street, and also the chapels they pulled down, and having cleansed the temple, they made another altar, and striking stones, they took fire out of them and offered a sacrifice after 2 years, and set forth incense and lights and shewbread. Okay, so with these glorious victories that the Maccabees was successfully able to do through the willpower and spirit of Yahweh Shai, the Lord was guiding the Maccabees, our forefathers, man, the mighty men of the nation of Israel. Okay, the Lord was absolutely guiding them, and with all of these victories, they held ceremonies, okay, to remember these victories over these wicked ass Edomites, man, which we rehearse to the best of our abilities every year, man. Okay, Hanukkah, all right, Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of Dedication. These are customs that we are to keep. Okay, even the Messiah kept these customs. Okay, because the Maccabees was before the Messiah even was on the earth. Okay, so these are some of the customs that we have to keep as children of Israel, because our forefathers fought. Okay, our forefathers, the mighty men of Israel, fought and was whipping these Edomites' asses. Okay, kicking their asses and cleansing the temple throughout the captivities, man. Throughout the Greek captivity, man. Okay, throughout the Hellenized period where Antiochus Epiphanes and the rest of these wicked ass Edomites was persecuting and Hellenizing the damn Jews, man. The true Jews, the quote unquote Black Americans, Haitians, and Jamaicans. Okay, period. Let's keep it going. Now let's just get this to prove that the Messiah kept. Okay, let's go ahead and prove that the Messiah kept these customs, okay, that our forefathers, the Maccabees, did for their successful defeats, their successful cleansings of the temple and victories over these wicked ass Edomites, man. Let's get that. Okay, can we get a lot of people, a lot of mockers and scoffers that try to say that the Apocrypha is not the Bible, which is absolutely diabolical, okay? Because it's most definitely the scriptures, okay? And this is why a lot of wacky-tacky Christians don't understand the scriptures because they don't read the Apocrypha, man. The Apocrypha is literally the Bible, all right? And you're not going to understand the New Testament if you don't have the histories, okay, of the Apocrypha, man, because that's over 400 years of history that you are missing, okay? That's biblical history that you need to know. So that's over 400 years of histories and events and all the historical accounts that transpired, okay, of the Israelites, period. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's go ahead and get it real quick. It's a little bit of a deep dive, but Lord's word is edifying. John 10:22, and it reads, and it was at Jerusalem that the feast of the dedication, and it was winter. Okay, so the feast of the dedication was one of the ceremonies that we kept due to the Maccabees defeating and cleansing the temple. Okay, renewing the temple. Okay, at Jerusalem, man. Okay, period. That is a custom that we are to keep. And Yahweh Shai walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews around about him and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the anointed, tell us plainly. So there you go, man. Okay, so the Messiah kept these customs. That's how. So if the Apocrypha was not biblical and scriptural, why would the Messiah be keeping the ceremonies of the accounts that happen in the Apocrypha? Okay, because the Apocrypha is most definitely scriptural. Period, point blank. Period. Okay, so these, again, I brought that out just to prove that these customs that we rehearse is the righteous act. We are to most definitely keep these customs, okay? Now, and this is a celebration over the glorious victories through the will, power, and spirit of Yahweh Shai, of our forefathers, slaying you bitches the fuck down and renewing the holy temple, man. Period. Now, let's keep going here. I got a few minutes. That took a little more time than I thought, but let's see what else we can wiggle in here before I shut this portion of it down and come right back at you with a part 2. Okay, Job 20:4. I'm gonna read it through 5. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked, who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, the devil the Bible always spoke about. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment. Okay, so we are at the end of your wicked ass diabolical kingdom, your queendom. Okay. Because the triumphing of the wicked is only before a short time, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment. Okay, so we are approaching your end. And call halal Yahweh Shem Shai. Let's go ahead and see what else we can squeeze in here. I may have room for one more. Let's see what we got. Psalms 73:6, and it reads, Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Okay, so the self-proclaimed white man, as we know, has done nothing on the earth but kill, steal, and destroy, rape, rob, pillage, and everything to that nature. Everything diabolical, everything evil, everything sinister, everything wicked, that covers you as a garment, man. Period. Next verse. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They're wealthy. They run everything. They are in rulership, so they have everything a heart could wish for. Next verse. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. Yeah, lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay. Oh, you ain't working hard enough. When they have completely built a diabolical system strategically set up to oppress you Israelites, okay? You quote unquote Black Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanic, but they speak loftily concerning oppression. They speak proudly. They speak wickedly. They are the wicked. It's just that simple, man. Okay? It is what it is. This is the devil the Bible speaks of. Esau, Edom, man. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's keep going. I got enough room for maybe one more. Let's get it in. Okay, so the scriptures put us on to, as we know, us hopeful elects, the nature, the diabolical nature, the diabolical behavior, the wicked, violent behavior of you Edomites. All right? Okay. Proverbs 28:15. And it reads, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. Okay, so these people is the wicked, man. Okay, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is the wicked over the poor people, man. Okay, he's setting you up, throwing you Israelites into alligator Alcatrazes. Okay, he's allowing his people to put you back up on trees again. You is the wicked. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Hope this portion was edifying. Till next one I say shalom, shalom.